on this episode of Ball Boys.
Could you do like 125, 150?
One? Where'd you get this guy?
You need to ask him how much he wants for this thing. How much will he take for this?
I've never seen anything like this. I'm thinking that I'd like to have him for $350.
I don't think my grandfather saved these for $350.
Oh, it's a special treat. Yep. Nobody gets to come down to the basement of the Hall of Fame here.
This, to me, is the most impressive piece of sports memorabilia I've ever seen.
Every great moment in sports leaves something behind. I'm Robbie Sr. My son Junior and I have been buying and selling sports history for over 20 years. If it'll make us cash, we're gonna buy it. If it's rare, we're gonna find it. We don't always agree, but when it comes to sports history, we ain't playing around. We are the Ball Boys. Sweet Lou's birthday's coming up, and to celebrate, me and the boys are taking him to the one game he can physically handle.
What is this? What bowling alley? What are these little balls?
Guys, this is duck pin bowling. The pins are smaller, and believe me, it's hard.
We talked about men bowling, not little kid bowling. Don't choke, Senior. I got this beat. I got this beat. I got this beat. Oh! Oh!
Man.
Oh!
Come on, Shaggy!
Oh!
That's my man. There it is.
Oh, man.
Count that up, Senior. Count it up.
I need a 10 to tie Lou, huh?
And you're gonna fail.
I have no defense. You guys beat me.
Bowling's a fun warm-up, but come on. Sweet Lou's like a brother to me. For his birthday this year, I'm taking him to Cooperstown.
Man, Junior, I cannot wait for my Chinese food to get here.
Didn't you get Chinese food yesterday?
Yeah.
Man,
And
you
I'll
eat
probably
Chinese
get it
food every day?
tomorrow.
Man, it looks like you might order the pizza.
I'm fine with that. Is that the extravaganza?
Hey, how you guys
What's
doing
going on,
today?
man?
How's it going?
I'm Junior. What do you got?
It's a true action electronic football game. The game is manufactured in Brooklyn, New York. It was made by the Two Door Manufacturing Company. They made them in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Why would you be bringing us an electronic football game? We sell sports memorabilia.
Well, that's what I seen on the sign, and I was just wondering if you guys might be interested in buying this thing.
Let's open it up. Let's look at it.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat game.
In the 1950s, fans couldn't kick back on their couches and play video games. Back then, electric football games like these were all they had.
The object of the game is that guy has to get past all these guys and make a touchdown.
Let's fire it up, Sweet Lou.
There you go.
It definitely works.
When he gets touched by that guy, that's where he's at. I mean, he's tackled.
He's down now.
He's down right there. Shut her down.
I'll be totally honest. This is the most boring piece of crap I have ever seen.
You set your guys up again, set your linemen up.
It's a 50s football game.
Right,
I think that's pretty cool.
I'd really, really like to get $300 for it.
$300
$300.
for this? You know, it is something, I like it. It's vintage, it's old, it's definitely something neat. We've never had one before, but I definitely wouldn't pay $300 for one. I know that much.
What are you looking at? I mean, what's your ballpark on this?
How about 75?
No.
No? Really? Hey, are you ever gonna play this game?
I mean, it works. You see, it works and everything. Has the goalpost, has your guys, has footballs. What else could you ask for?
I mean, would you take 100 for it?
That's a toughie.
I mean, really, are you gonna take it back home and put it in your basement?
Probably.
It's sitting there, just sitting around collecting dust at your place. Why not let me give you 100 and let it collect dust at mine? You know?
You're right.
Yeah.
$100.
$100?
Do $100?
$100 is Sweet Lou and I will be playing this boy tonight.
Items like these wind up collecting lots of dust here at the store. But conversation pieces keep our regular customers coming back. And I know one guy who's gonna love playing this game.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
man?
guys.
What brings you here today?
I'm looking for a piece of Red Sox memorabilia for my basement. We're redoing it, and it's a Fenway theme, if you will. I'm doing a Red Sox theme in my basement, but I'm not looking to have it player-focused. I want it to be something that really is timeless.
What makes you a Red Sox fan?
It was in '96, I was in college, and a friend of mine took me to the stadium. I never seen baseball that intense.
Fenway Park is one of the ballparks you think about when you think of history of the game.
Fenway Park's the oldest stadium in the country. It's got the triangle, it's got Pesky's pole, and of course the Green Monster. This guy's got good taste.
I really wanted basement like Fenway Park. I want to remember the feeling I got watching that team and fall in love with baseball all over again.
When it comes to buying stuff from stadiums, there's plenty of options. You can buy the seats, you can buy the dirt, you can buy turf. It's all gettable for the right price.
I could just literally grab the monster and put it on my basement wall. That'd be freaking killer, man.
You must have a big basement.
It's a pretty big basement. I'm looking to spend about $500. I'm not looking to haggle. That's what I got.
We don't have any Red Sox memorabilia here in that $500 range that's significant like what you're looking for.
I'm sure 500 is a huge challenge. To find a piece that's iconic, that's different than anything else out there, I don't know if they can find it, but I'm sure hoping they do.
Well, we're heading up to Cooperstown anyway, so I guarantee you there's got to be a place out there that has some type of Red Sox.
They have everything in Cooperstown. I'm taking Lou up for his birthday.
Oh, that's awesome. That's nice.
I got good friends.
Good birthday present, isn't it?
That's a killer birthday present.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to bring you something back, a nice piece of Red Sox memorabilia from Cooperstown, because I know we'll find something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Just follow me back here.
All right,
Lou,
okay.
assume your position.
I was already ahead of you, bro.
We were cleaning out my grandfather's basement and just, they were there in a box.
Army, Navy, 1905. Wow. I've never seen anything like this.
This scrapbook was done by 2 kids in the early part of the 20th century. They got over 400 signatures, including more than 3 dozen Hall of Famers.
This, to me, is the most impressive piece of sports memorabilia I've ever seen.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How can I help you?
Well, I found some of these, and I was wondering if you'd help me figure out what they are.
Man, 1897. These boys are
Yeah,
old.
that's the oldest one.
And you got these how?
We were cleaning out my grandfather's basement and just, they were there in a box.
I've never seen anything like this.
There was lots of boxes. I found these old programs. So I was excited because they look old and they might be worth something.
So obviously your grandfather appreciated a rivalry.
He definitely did.
Army, Navy, 1905. Wow. I can tell you the Army-Navy rivalry, I mean, it's historic because the guys that played Army-Navy started in 1890.
Wow.
So this isn't far off at 1905, 15 years later. In 1905, the Army-Navy game was played in Princeton, New Jersey. It was such a small town that both teams got caught in traffic and got to the game late. The Yale-Harvard rivalry, anything with Harvard on it. People, they gravitate to these things. People come in with programs. I mean, there's nothing like the intricate stitching here. This is hardback. I don't see these. I mean, I honestly don't. I would love to have them, but I don't know what they're worth. I'd have to have somebody come in that could tell me exactly what they are.
All right, that's good.
You can leave them with me. I'll get your number. We'll go in the back. I'll
Great.
take care of you right now.
Lou and I are in Cooperstown looking for a Fenway Park item for a Red Sox fan. But before we get down to business, it's time to play a little bit and hit up the Baseball Hall of Fame for Lou's birthday. Check it out. Baseball Hall of Fame.
I'm ready.
It's awesome.
Oh, my God. Made it.
I mean, this has got to be the best class. Ty Cobb, Chrissy Mathewson, Hannes Wagner. Look how shiny the Babe Ruth is.
It's because everybody probably touches him.
I'm telling you, look at him compared to everybody else.
Pinches fat cheeks.
We've had a great afternoon soaking up all this baseball history. And now it's time for Lou's real present, a private tour of the one place nobody gets to see when they come to Cooperstown.
How are you?
I'm Junior. I've been calling you on the phone about bringing my buddy down here.
Yeah, I know. It's a special treat.
Yep.
Nobody gets to come down to the basement of the Hall of Fame. We have over 35,000 three-dimensional artifacts in our collection that we've collected since 1937. I thought I'd pull out a few of them here to show you, and we could go through them. This here is the first catcher's mask. Looks like a bird cage. In fact, that's what they called it in the press. They also called it a muzzle. Now, this was created by the captain of the Harvard baseball team. His name was Fred Thayer. He designed this mask in the offseason of 1876-77 for his new catcher, a guy named James Ting, who they were converting from the outfield. Ting was a bit uncomfortable about going behind the plate. And back then, catchers wore no protective equipment at all. You have to understand, there's no shin guards, no catcher's mitt, no mask, no chest protector.
No teeth.
And often no teeth, and many broken fingers. When he wore this, people kind of laughed at him. In fact, almost all protective equipment has that history in the 19th century. The first people to wear gloves were laughed off the field. Almost nobody wore them, and by the mid-1890s, everyone did. This is a major league artifact. We've got Ted Williams' bat that he used to hit his 521st and final home run in his last at-bat at Fenway Park.
That's a piece of history, all right.
Yeah, so that was September 28, 1960.
I'm one of those guys that thinks that Ted Williams, had he played his full career, he might have gave Ruth a run for that home run record.
Absolutely. He missed pretty much about 5 seasons due to service in World War II in Korea.
I wish we could get this bat for our customer, but he doesn't want anything player-specific. Plus, museums don't sell their items, so I hope our friend down the street doesn't let us down.
But this is, I think, the coolest treasure that we have here at the Hall of Fame. It's called The Baseball World of 1912. This scrapbook was done by 2 kids in the early part of the 20th century. They actually finished it in 1912, long before the idea of sports collectibles or collecting signatures was even around. The Jackman brothers, Ellen and David, started cutting out images of ball players from newspapers and baseball guides beginning when they were kids. They cut out over 1,500 images of players, both major and minor leagues. So they said, let's put them together in a scrapbook and see how many signatures we can get.
That's cool.
They're from Pittsburgh, so they went to all the Pittsburgh home games. They were able to get all the National League teams, and then they went to Cleveland to get the American League and players. They got over 400 signatures, including more than 3 dozen Hall of Famers. And Honus Wagner wrote a little inscription here on the front for the boys. Said, the best book I have ever seen of professional baseball players of today. Signed by Honus Wagner. Amazing thing about this is nobody had ever seen anything like this, right? So it would get them into the ballpark for free, and not only that, it would get them into the dugout during the game.
This is unbelievable. I can't have all these guys' signatures right here. And what, Joe Jackson?
Yeah, and look at what he wrote. You have to remember this is 1912, right? This is before he's even with the White Sox.
Yeah.
Next to Cobb, the greatest player in June 1912. Wait and see.
Every single one of those guys touched the book.
The last team they needed was Detroit, and they had missed them in Cleveland, so they went to Detroit from Pittsburgh. Famously, Ty Cobb was late for pregame preparations. He would arrive in his Chalmers automobile that he received for winning the batting title, so he arrived notoriously late. And when he saw what the kids had constructed, he signed the book 4 times. He also made all the Tigers sign it, and he held up the game for about 10 minutes, the start of the game, just to work on the book with the kids.
This, to me, is the most impressive piece of sports memorabilia I've ever seen. At Robbie's First Base, we're all about buying and selling sports memorabilia, but this book is truly priceless. Now it's time to see if our contact has what he claims to have, because we have a customer back home that fully expects us to deliver.
It's one of a kind, man.
I know, it is one of a kind, and it's really awesome. Could you do like 150?
One? Where'd you get this guy?
I'll pay you $750. The end. That's it.
$750?
$750. Take it or leave it. You can say 9, but you're going to leave with the books.
Lou and I are in Cooperstown, where we just got an amazing tour of the Baseball Hall of Fame for his birthday. But now it's time to get down to business and find something for our Red Sox fan.
Here it is, Lou.
Baseball souvenirs and ice cream.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, I had you in mind when we came up here.
Guess what? I'm negotiating.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, let that one rest for a little while, buddy. Are you Vinny?
Hey, I am.
I'm Rob, man. Junior.
Hey, Rob.
I've been talking to you on the phone.
Nice to meet you.
This is Sweet Lou.
Hey, Lou, how are you?
We came here looking for that Red Sox memorabilia.
Okay.
Didn't hurt that the Hall of Fame was a block away, but...
What about this? What this is an actual piece from Fenway Park.
Now that is awesome.
Sometimes the balls hit the left field, the green monster, and there's dent in it. It gets dented up and stuff, so they'll change out pieces. And the guy actually made a scoreboard out of it.
It doesn't really matter what era Red Sox fan you are.
Yeah, you're going to
the Green
relate to
Monster's
that.
there forever, so, you know.
Fenway Park's so iconic, everybody relates to, when they see that green monster left field, you automatically know what it is if you're a baseball fan.
How much are you asking for this?
Looks like my boy's not playing around about making this deal. Guess I'm gonna have to let him off the leash and see how this thing pans out.
I'd like to get $500 for it.
Well, 500's a little much.
It's one of a kind, man.
I know, it is one of a kind, and it's really awesome. Could you do like 125, 150?
One? Where'd you get this guy?
He's new on the job.
One. The right fan comes in here, he sees that, they're gonna pay my price all day long for it.
225?
Not happening.
You know, you're throwing all these numbers out here. Now's the time you need to ask him how much he wants for this thing. How much will he take for this? What's his bottom line?
All right, well, what would you take for it? What's your bottom line?
I mean, I'm asking 5, but I mean, I see you guys really want it. I'll go 4 for you, 400.
Listen, $300. Come on. I came from 100, 125. You came down a little bit. You know, you're working with me.
I was at 5.
I know, but that was crazy.
It's not gonna be the last time we come in here.
Yeah, it won't be the last time we ever show our faces in here again, you know?
All right, I'll do it for 300 if we're gonna do some business in the future.
300?
If that works for you.
That's awesome.
All
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You were the best.
Buddy.
I think you saved my job. I promise I'll leave now.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job in there. Matter of fact, what am I carrying this for? It was your deal. You're the one that did it.
Fine.
Man, check this place out.
This is
It's
awesome.
like Americana being up here.
A few days ago, a young man came in with some of the most amazing college football programs I've ever seen. They're each 100 years old, and I have not a clue what they're worth. So my friend Kevin's stopping by to help me out. There's my man Kevin.
Hey, Senior.
What's up, Kev?
going on? How are you? I specialize in vintage sports autographs and memorabilia. Wow, these are very exciting. You don't see this stuff around too much. Not only did they not survive the event itself, I mean, they just get destroyed or left behind or torn up. I mean, a lot of these games, I mean, it's football played in October, November, December. You know, it's inclement weather, and a lot of these things are just going to get destroyed just by being there.
And these were given out at the games, even in hardback form like this?
I mean, you got to remember that the football teams for Harvard, you know, all the Ivy League schools, none of those schools offer athletic scholarships.
Right.
It's all intellectual based.
Sure.
So these guys don't play football to go on to the pros. The seniors are walking off the field. That's the last
That's the
football
last
game.
football game they're ever going to play.
Yeah, so it's a significant event. So I'm not surprised that they would have produced them in this way. It's really uncommon to find programs like this from this period, and especially in this condition. I've only seen a couple, and these are great examples. 1905, there are a couple significant cadets who were there at the time of this game. One was George Patton. Another one was a guy named Hap Arnold. And Hap Arnold's one of only 5 people in the history of our armed forces with 5 stars. A lot of the people graduating from, you know, were served as officers in the upcoming wars. For all those cadets who would have been there, a lot of them would have died on the battlefields of Europe. I'm sure a lot of them didn't live to be old men because of that, too. So just a lot of history involved in these great pieces, great condition, and very highly collectible.
How do you put a value on them?
In this condition, certainly in an auction setting, closer down on the 500 level.
For all of them or a piece?
No, I'm talking about a piece.
Individually?
Yeah. And this could go for a lot more than $500.
More than, okay. Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Thanks
too.
for coming in. These programs are significant to the game of college football and our nation's history. I know they bring crowds to the store. I just hope I can afford them. And he said $500 individually, but that's retail. I'm thinking that I'd like to have them for $350.
You know, I don't seem to think my grandfather saved these for $350. I think they're worth a little more than that. If a Harvard grad comes through, you're gonna get more than $300 for these. Or if a Navy guy comes through.
Not many people around here graduated from Harvard. We talking high school around here. But seriously, Ryan, and I do want them. How about $175 for each? And I'll sell them for $3, so I'd make $125 on each. I mean, is that too much to ask?
We're getting closer, but again, these have been in the family a long time.
What number would you take for them?
I think $900 is the number.
I'll pay you $750. The end. That's it.
$750.
$750. Take it or leave it. That's my bottom line. $750. You can say $9, but you're going to leave with the books. But I'll give you $750 for something you did not know what was worth. My guy told you what it was worth. Sitting in a basement, $750 that you can buy something with right now. Can we shake on $750?
I can take some.
There you go. My man. Congratulations.
I got $750 for something I found in a basement. That's okay with me.
This is a piece of the Green Monster.
Actual piece of the Green Monster. It's hard to believe you can get a game-used piece from Fenway Park for $500, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Me and Junior just got back from Cooperstown, where I negotiated a pretty big deal for a Red Sox fan. Now let's see if it's a success or if I'm gonna be packing boxes the rest of my life.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
How was Cooperstown?
Now, I don't want to let you down and tell you I couldn't get you the whole Green Monster, But we did get you a piece of the Green Monster.
Oh, my goodness, you kidding me?
How about that?
This is a piece of the Green Monster,
Actual piece of the Green Monster. Every now and then, they gotta redo the monster because it gets beat up over time. So when they do, they tear it down, put it in pieces, and then construct a little miniature version of the scoreboard on each piece.
Unbelievable.
You tell people you got the Green Monster in your basement, you'll be really telling the truth.
I'm blown away.
As soon as we saw it, definitely had to get this one for you.
Well, sweet Lou, he took care of you.
I did.
Hard to believe you can get a game-used piece from Fenway Park for $500, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Let's take care of the payment on this thing. Sweet Lou will wrap it up for you.
All right.
How about you wrap it up and I'll handle the transaction?
Baby steps, buddy. You wrap it up as always, and we'll take it from there.
It's always something.
Come on, man.
Earlier today, Junior bought a 1950s vintage electric football game. Some might say it was a waste of money, but when it brings in someone like this, I have to disagree. I'm gonna play Jim Brown in a football game. Hey, that's exactly right. I'm gonna do it right now.
I'd rather be playing him on this than on the real field.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you'd have to turn it on.
Let's see here. I'm gonna. There it is. Man, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm beating you.
It looks that way.
How about the guy running, making a beeline for the sideline?
Whatever, going in the wrong direction, Jim.
This is fantastic, man.
There, crossing the goal line. There you go.
Jim.
Now you beat Jim Brown.
I beat you, buddy.
Well, then I'll take the beating.
It's the only time I can tell somebody I beat Jim Brown in football.
Well, it looks like you win with this antiquated, outdated, electronical disaster.